What's up, Timmy Turners? It's your boy Black Timmy from Houston, Texas, and you are watching YouTube. And we are going to be watching a video about the YouTuber biggest fraud, aka JIDION. Now, I know about JIDION. Obviously, I don't follow his shit. I don't know what the hell he do, but I do be hearing some stories about him. So let's just get right to the damn video.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back again with another YouTube video, and I figured I'm gonna make this video today because it's something I've been putting off for quite some time. I used to talk about this topic a lot, especially like back in the day. I figured, I was really, aside from a couple other people, I was really the only voice who was talking about this and bringing up concerns when it comes to JIDION and his practices and the way he treated the EDP sting and stuff like that. So I thought today I would kind of sit down and kind of talk about everything and also give some of my current opinions about what's going on, given the fact that the EDP 445 documentary is going to be coming out pretty soon. And if you guys haven't seen my last video talking about JIDION and the documentary, is that Kayla, if Mike Klum leaves it in, Kayla brings up some really interesting point when it comes to JIDION and how JIDION treated.
First of all, didn't JIDION was doing something about like how to catch a predator? Ain't he was doing that on his page? Now that I realized it, and ain't he's one of those people that talk about, oh, I'm God's children, I'm this and that and the third, and yeah, you doing shit like this. He was doing some fuck shit, I heard.
Did her and the whole sting operation in general. So I figured I might as well give my piece here, being someone who was covering this whole thing at the time. Obviously, if you guys don't know and aren't caught up with the 8 million videos I made on this topic, a while ago I made a video called JIDION is a fraud. Obviously, it didn't get received that well. Most videos, when you talk about someone who is well liked within the YouTube community and just in general, you're probably going to get disliked no matter how good your video is, because people just kind of disregard it. Being a smaller content creator, they don't really care. And looking back at the video now, I cringe a little bit. I felt like I was just too passive aggressive in the video.
You want to know why you got so many dislikes? It's because they want you to kiss his ass just like everybody else. This is why I can never understand people who do shit like that. Like, y'all need to touch grass.
Being someone who's grown throughout making YouTube videos, I look back at it now, I'm like, I feel like a lot of my points were good, but I feel like I was just kind of out of hand with a lot of the stuff I was saying, and I was just swearing to swear, and it just made it for a very passable video instead of just watching it and being like, you know what, I think this guy's made some good points. But essentially the way to break down that video, aside from all the swearing and kind of the rage I was inducing, because I was actually pretty pissed off in that video, right, was that Kayla, who is a 15-year-old girl, was in JIDION's Discord server. She used to watch JIDION, be a big fan. I think JIDION had her in a video a while ago. But essentially, she was a 15-year-old girl in the Discord. JIDION, doing the whole creep catching stuff, decided to invite EDP into his Discord server, I guess, inside, who is JIDION's Discord manager. Start talking to people in EDP's Discord, I guess, and they decide to come to an agreement that he was going to interview EDP like JIDION was going to. And essentially the way they came up with this idea, or the way they went through with it, is they just straight up sent EDP an invite link to the Discord. I covered this all in previous videos. EDP joins the Discord. Obviously, if you guys know anything about JIDION, it was a massive flop of an interview. EDP last minute decided he wanted to get paid. JIDION's like, yeah, I guess I'll pay him. And then later on, he was like, yeah, nah, I'm not going to pay him. And then Sneeko ended up showing up at one point. It was just such a weird time on the internet, and Sneeko and Pat God went to this really weird conversation back and forth about age of consent and shit.
So JIDION was doing this all for a show. I kind of feel like that is disrespectful, because there are actual real stories of predators catching little children. So I don't think that's not something that he should be doing, but that's just me. And if whoever disagree with me, y'all are stupid.
Shit. And then eventually JIDION just ends the stream. It was a pretty fucking massive flop, right? There's no denying it. It was a huge flop. And it before, when I covered this originally, I was like, it's not necessarily JIDION's fault. I feel like he should have been a little bit smarter when it comes to EDP. But a big thing that nobody knew at the time was during that time, during the interview, EDP was actually stalking and checking out people within JIDION's Discord, right? So he ended up finding this girl named Kayla who had all her links set up and whatever. So he ended up adding her on Instagram, and it was pretty big information at the time, obviously, because we're like, oh my god, what the fuck's going on here, right? JIDION and Skeeter G went and met up with EDP, right? JIDION started really hyping it up, showed pictures of him in a cupcake costume. He was talking about how this was going to be the big redemption arc.
445 interview has to have been the biggest failure in all of
You know, even Inside got on the clout with it and started making his own videos about it. It was a huge thing too.
I can
in that
stand
video
his
I talked
face.
about like JIDION is a fraud, where like I said, he hyped it up, but then around the time when it was supposed to drop, he just never dropped it, right? He was just like, I'm not dropping this shit.
I don't know how many times I gotta say this, you know? But I'm gonna just assume that you guys weren't here for it, but I'm not dropping the EDP vid. It's not coming anytime soon. You're never gonna get it. Unless Skeet drops it. But yo, I'm gonna just be honest with you guys, bro. No, I said this the last 2 streams. I don't mind keep on saying it, but because I know people probably just missed the stream or whatever. But I'm not gonna drop it. Like, I don't care about that stuff no more.
He's like, if you guys want it to be dropped, Skeeter Gene can drop it. So we're all like really fucking confused because he was hyping it up for like months, right? It was months of him hyping it up, saying how good this sting is and how it's so much better than the Chet Goldstein one because they thought about the law first and the legal aspects of it first.
Though is with the other ones, like with the guys that caught him, they did it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like they went more content-y than actually trying to get him arrested.
And then he just straight up told his fans that he's not dropping it. Right, and that was kind of my big issue in the video originally, aside from other stuff I bring up. But I'm like, just from a content creation standpoint, or just being a decent person, you hype up the sting operation, which by the way was already shit, but we didn't know it at the time, right? We thought this was going to be a legit sting. And he was just like, yeah, I'm not dropping it. Because he knew it was shit, and he, like, last minute was like, ah, fuck. But the thing is, though, if he knew it was shit, why the fuck would you hype it up for so long? Right? Like, that's so insane of a content creator to do, or just anyone in general. But eventually it did drop behind a paywall of Skeeter Gene. Skeeter Gene dropped it, but it was on his website behind a fucking paywall, which people were saying, I think at the time,
That's just like similar to that whole Cardi B situation when she keeps saying, "Ooh, my album about to come," and it never came.
It's a huge issue that people were saying it was $50, even though that was kind of misinformation. A lot of people were running with that. I think it wasn't $50. I think that was just one of the tiers you could buy on the website to see the video. But even like if it was cheaper than that, it still wasn't worth it. Essentially, the entire sting operation was like 25 minutes of them just fucking around and like talking and shit like that. And then they talked to EDP for like a minute. Right, it was like a minute, and then EDP just walked back into his dialysis center, right? Like, this isn't his first rodeo. So he just walked back into the dialysis center, and they're like, fuck, we can't do anything now, right? So EDP ends up calling the cops, right? Because, you know, in the eyes of the law, he's technically innocent. He wasn't there to meet up with the child, right? He was just there to get his dialysis treatment, even though he was grooming Kayla during that time. Kayla really wasn't involved in the sting operation, to be honest, like, really at all. They used her messages and stuff, but he wasn't there to meet up with Kayla, right? So he ends up going back in the dialysis center. They all just stand around dumbfounded, not knowing what the fuck to do for the longest time. He ends up walking out. They go to like talk to him again. He just gets in his car and drives off. And that's like the 35-minute sting, right? Not only was that just a fundamental failure just in terms of like an EDP sting, but just in a creep catch sting in general, that was just terrible, right? It was garbage. It was such a waste of time and effort. And, the fact that JIDION was just like, yeah, I'm not posting it, I can understand why. But then why the fuck did you hype it up knowing that you were fucking there during it? You hyped it up for so long and then you never wanted to post it and it turned out to be shit anyways, right? So then as time went on, we got more and more information, like the fact that they actually told Kayla, who was the 15-year-old girl who was like groomed or whatever, to keep talking to EDP weeks ahead of the actual sting operation, right? Or a couple days or whatever the fuck. I think it was like a week ahead of the sting operation. So when Kayla was being groomed, she actually went into JIDION's Discord server, talked to Inside, who was JIDION's manager, who was another person I kind of talked to, right? I actually got involved with him and had a back and forth on Discord about how they handled this whole situation. But essentially, he told JIDION, and I guess somebody, I don't fucking know who, somebody, JIDION, Inside, one of those fucking losers, decide to tell Kayla to continue talking to EDP, right? So not only are they just like taking advantage of this 15-year-old girl, but they're putting her in harm's way by allowing her to keep talking to the predator, right? In no way is that okay whatsoever. And when I posted that video, there was a few YouTubers who like came at me and said, actually, that's really smart because they get more evidence.
I could not comprehend the fact that some people, they're like,
There's something called gathering evidence for a fucking sting.
Or if you're just retarded or just unaware, but there's a court case involved, you need all the information you can physically get. In a lot of circumstances, a lot of cases, a lot of the time.
But here's the thing, it sounds like that Jidion, he just doing this all for his page. That's basically what it is. And just like he said, it's like you putting a little girl, a 15-year-old little girl in harm's way. So you're not even thinking about her. You're not even thinking about the consequences. All you thinking about is the fucking views.
Times when it comes to police
And
investigation.
like I said before, ain't he's the one that's talking about, oh, he's God's children, oh, I'm not gonna do all this foolishness on the internet and some shit like that he said. But yet, look at you.
And stuff, they will continue to tell the person to either continue talking to this predator or something so they can get more damning evidence.
Yeah, as if they were doing it for the evidence. Okay, after everything we learned, yeah, let's just assume they're doing it for the evidence, right? And even then, that's still not okay, right? This is a real child, right? No matter how, like, normalized this shit is now, or how people call Kayla a clout chaser or whatever the fuck, she's still a child.
See? Yeah, see? A clout chaser. Jidion is the one who doing this whole shit, so don't y'all think y'all should call him a clout chaser? You see, this is why people...
Right? No matter how you view her, she was a child at the time, and I think she still is, like, a child, right? Or she's, like, you know, whatever, 16, 17. But, like, she was a kid.
You're probably 18.
Right? And she was told, she was instructed to continue talking to someone who is actively trying to harm her. That is not okay whatsoever. What happens if he sends a nude or requests a nude from her or verbally abuses or mentally abuses her during that week? That is on your hands at that point as a person who instructed her to continue doing it. That's not okay in any scenario. This is why creep catchers and stuff usually use bait or bait girls or actual adults.
You see, people gonna defend him and they're gonna be like, oh, but she agreed to this. Okay, she did, but that still doesn't make it okay. That's just like saying, no, never mind.
Who pretend to be children, right? Because that's okay because they're adults, obviously, right? They're not, you know, they're grown-ups or whatever the fuck. But they continue allowing her to be groomed, basically. Right? Like, it's insane how their first idea wasn't to tell her to block him immediately. Their first idea was to do it for content. Right? Now, this all happened a year or so ago. I've covered it so many times. Like, it's actually insane. But then, after this happened, right, after I made my videos, shit like that, I obviously got into contact with Inside, gave him my opinions on it, you know, explained my situation. I caught him deleting videos that I took clips from to really prove my point that these guys are a bunch of fucking scammers and only do shit for clout. You know, it's even more apparent now that Jidion's gone full, like, creep catching mode. Like, he just constantly he has this whole thing called, like, EDP watch now. And it's like, yeah, if only you guys knew where it started, right? If only you guys knew how he handled the EDP sting. Right, and that's why it's important in this documentary for Mike Klum to really leave everything in when it comes to covering the Jidion sting, because Kayla's going to bring up some really interesting stuff. You know, I can't really get too much into it because obviously it's in the documentary, hopefully, and all that stuff. And Jidion obviously gets interviewed in the documentary as well, so it'll be interesting to see his point of view. I wouldn't be surprised if Kayla ever takes Jidion to court or Jidion's team for what occurred. Right, especially if EDP does get arrested for what he did. I feel like Kayla would have a very strong case against these guys because the way they handled it was fucking ridiculous. And if people want evidence, obviously I'm probably not...
Now, this is what suing should get involved because, like I said in the other videos that I made, don't forget to watch that as well. But yeah, this is why I say that suing should have something like this, because people always want to use this suing word for every single little thing, and it's like, girl, y'all don't even have a case. But yeah, like I said before, I kind of feel like people still gonna defend Jidion because, let's be fucking for real, people just throw all common sense out the window when they want to uplift celebrities or these influencers, these YouTubers. They just want to throw all common sense out the window and just take it for what it is, of what they say, of what they show y'all, which is stupid.
I'm not going to put too much in this video because I want it to be a very straightforward video, but I have countless videos talking about this, showing evidence, showing my proof. But a big thing I haven't talked about yet is the legal proceedings, right? Like the fact that Kayla actually did go to the police and file a police report, right? And this was a big lie I caught Inside in, where Inside claims in his video that they made sure that she went to the police before they did anything, or the police were informed. Yet we find out that she actually was filing a police report the day of the sting.
Considered to make a video about this. We made sure that she was okay, that her parents were involved, and the police report.
Oh yeah,
had
where
been
the
made.
parents?
In fact, I didn't even alert JIDION to it until she had told her parents and filed a police report.
The police, and the victim went to the police station and filed a police report nearly 2 months before JIDION and Skeeter went to confront him. Skeeter has done this hundreds of times over many years. He is far from amateur. The child was already leading him on before we ever talked to her about it.
Wait, hold on. Hang on, one second. Yo, hello?
He's texting me right now still.
What is he saying?
He told me, fuck you, bitch. That's what he said.
We got him.
But I'm already here. I filed the report.
Yeah. Keep on filing.
And it just so happens to be beneficial for them, for her to be filing police report the day of the sting, so the police don't get involved to begin with. I just thought that was really insane for Inside to lie about, to say, oh yeah, actually, we made sure that she filed a police report first and all the right parties were informed. Then why was she filing a police report the day of the sting? It literally shows in the sting her at the police station following the report during the sting. She literally calls JIDION and says, yeah, I'm here filing the report. So that was an obvious lie. I don't know why they're lying about that. Maybe because it makes them look really bad. So anyways, that all happened. She ended up going offline. She's dealing with some personal stuff. She's doing her own thing. JIDION is still doing the fucking creep catching shit, which is even more funny. Like, I even tweeted about this, saying that, like, my video is doing so well right now, like, in terms of, like, just, like, how things are playing out.
That is weird. If he's so obsessed of doing these type of videos, that says a lot more about him, in that he need to be watched, because that is so fucking creepy.
Like, JIDION, obviously, after the sting and shit went down, he went on this massive Christian arc, right? Like, he was... turned his whole channel into Gideon, and he deleted all his prank videos, and he's like, yeah, I'm just turning straight to God. He's posting God videos and preaching about stuff, and, this is just so happens to happen right after the botched sting op.
This is why I don't listen to any type of religion. No shade to y'all, but because the one who act like they God's children, they be the most fucked up. They be sinners the most.
Inspiration, think how you will about that. I also know about some background stuff or behind the scenes stuff that isn't very Christian that JIDION was apparently doing. Again, this is just what I've heard. It's not factual. I don't have fact checks on that. But, he went on this whole Christian arc. And then obviously recently, you guys, if you're JIDION fans, you know that he completely fucking threw that in the garbage. He re-uploaded a lot of his prank videos, even though he went on this huge spew about how pranking is bad.
See? What I told you.
No Christian in their right mind that can make the case to say that the content that I was making was of God. And I'm not going to even try to make that case, And, if I'm going to truly give my life over to God, I got to
I don't follow
take
this
up the
man
wickedness
at
that I
all.
put into the world.
Okay. The caption says, I like my family melanin free. Which is obviously very insensitive.
Like I said, I have nothing wrong against black people. I have black friends. I consider...
My 2 children are...
No. I hate when people say that, oh, I don't have a problem with black people, but I have black friends. Nah, you're just using that as a trophy to make you seem like you don't have a problem with black people. And non-black people do this as well. And people, and these men who want to talk about, oh, we should lift up black people, they be them same ones that side with the other race behind closed doors.
Are white. White children are the cutest.
Bad and it's evil and how God frowns upon it, yet he just re-uploaded a lot of prank videos, like a big amount of them of him just like fucking with people. I guess that Christian arc only lasted so long. Yeah, he ended up going on this like massive religious arc. Bunch of bullshit. He ended up realizing that, oh shit, he's not getting much viewership. No one really cares about it. He obviously dodged the flack for the whole sting operation, even though I feel like it's going to get brought up in the documentary, which is good. Hopefully JIDION gets held accountable for his actions during that whole entire thing. But yeah, he pretty much brought all his prank videos back, and then now he's doing obviously the grift to predator catching, because that's like the popular thing now. He realized the religious thing isn't working out, so he just hopped right on what's popular right now, which is predator catching, right? And a lot of people are really pissed off with him right now because apparently he's hiding a lot of these predator catches behind a paywall, which is understandable. I feel like if you're a JIDION fan and he's promised you 2 videos a week, which apparently is what he promised, a lot of people are complaining about it in the comment section, and he's paywalling some of them, I feel like that is something to be pissed off about. He's just trying to make money off his fans. I feel like that's been the whole entire thing. Obviously, I feel like, predator catchers should try to make money off of what they're doing. I feel like, they're, even though, a lot of people say they shouldn't make money off of it, I think they should. I feel like they should make some money off of it. But I feel like putting it behind a paywall as well is kind of insane to me, especially if he's putting so many behind a paywall. It makes sense why. So
if you're doing this for the money, that just goes to show that you really don't care about people being predatorized. That just because without the money, would you be doing this? Fuck no. So I don't believe they doing this for a good deed.
Many of his fans are pissed off. But if only they knew what I know and watched my previous videos talking about JIDION, because, that's the least scummy thing he's done so far. The religious arc was brutal, especially if you're religious. I feel like you guys should be highly pissed off about that. The whole bullshit arc thing, the guy obviously didn't care about religion. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. And then he jumps straight to, doing predator catching.
I mean, who actually believed that this man
after doing the huge botched EDP one?
Full Christian
I feel like everyone can learn from something, but I feel like he took no accountability for that. I mean, no one even knows about it. Given the whole inside talking too, it's not like they really apologized or went back on what they did. They genuinely don't care. So it's good that Kayla's kind of safe now and kind of away from these kind of people, because it's just brutal how he's been getting away with this for so long. But anyways, that's all I really want to talk about. Just kind of recapping everything I've gone over. And, obviously this was probably going to be my last video talking about JIDION, at least until the documentary. But at that point, it's going to be more up to the public about what they think about it. I've done my part trying to bring awareness to JIDION and everything that's happened, and did my due diligence to
the public are sheep, so of course they're going to be like, oh, you wrong, JIDION is right. Come on, that's how people are, especially on the damn internet.
At least try to reach out to his manager and try to get a story, right? Try to see where they're coming from, right? So, but at the end of the day, I did my best, and I hope you guys understand that, and I hope you guys, make your own judgments when it comes to JIDION, because, given his recent actions too, it seems like a lot of his own fans are turning against him. But yeah, that's all I really want to talk about. If you guys like this video, leave a like, subscribe. Also, if you guys want to join the Discord, the link will be in.
Yeah, y'all go follow his channel, y'all. And don't forget to follow my channel as well. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my channel. And I will, before I exit, I still want y'all to check out my other videos, especially gaming. I did a little bit of a gaming of Mortal Kombat and Naruto as well. So check out those videos. And I will see you guys in the next video. Oh yeah, and by the way, I know I have a little bit of a speech problem. This is how I talk, so don't mind me, y'all. Just bear with me. But yeah, I will see you, Timmy Turners, guys, in the next video.